The remote Kamchatka Peninsula in Russia's far east is enduring an extreme winter emergency as a powerful and slow-moving snowstorm continues to tighten its grip on the region. Over the past several days, persistent and unusually strong low-pressure systems advancing from the Sea of Okhotsk have driven wave after wave of moisture inland, unleashing relentless snowfall accompanied by gale-force winds. Meteorologists say the interaction between frigid Arctic air and moisture-laden maritime systems has created near-perfect conditions for prolonged, heavy snow, pushing the region into a crisis that many longtime residents say they have never experienced before. What began as a severe winter storm has now evolved into a large-scale environmental emergency, overwhelming infrastructure, disrupting daily life and testing the limits of local response capabilities. Snow accumulation in many parts of Kamchatka has exceeded 2 meters, with some localized drifts reaching even greater depths due to strong swirling winds. Streets have vanished beneath thick, compacted layers of snow. Vehicles are buried almost entirely out of sight, and the ground floor entrances of residential buildings have been sealed shut by frozen walls of white. Entire neighborhoods have effectively disappeared under the weight of the storm, transformed into narrow, winding corridors carved through towering snowbanks that rise several meters high. What were once open courtyards, playgrounds, and parking areas are now indistinguishable from one another, creating a disorienting landscape where even familiar surroundings feel foreign and difficult to navigate. Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky, the regional capital and largest city on the peninsula, has been among the hardest-hit locations. Snowbanks there have climbed to the height of traffic lights and street signs, while cars are so deeply buried that only small sections of their roofs or mirrors are visible above the surface. In residential districts, snow has accumulated to the level of second floors, and, in some cases, even higher, forcing residents to clear balconies, windows, and emergency exits just to prevent dangerous pressure from building up against walls and structural supports. Many people are effectively trapped inside their homes, digging tunnels and narrow passageways through packed snow simply to reach the street or access emergency services. For some families, leaving the house means crawling through shoulder-deep drifts while wind-driven snow instantly fills in footprints behind them. The physical strain on residents has been immense. Clearing snow is exhausting and often dangerous work, especially for elderly individuals and those with health conditions. Even younger residents report fatigue after hours of shoveling in sub-zero temperatures, with wind chills making the cold feel even more severe. Visibility is frequently reduced to just a few meters, as blowing snow creates near-constant whiteout conditions. In these circumstances, simple tasks such as taking out trash, checking on neighbors, or reaching a nearby shop become risky endeavors that require careful planning and cooperation. Local authorities have declared a state of emergency as essential. Services face widespread disruption. Public transport has been suspended across large sections of Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky and surrounding communities, leaving many residents without reliable means of travel. Numerous roads remain completely blocked despite continuous snow removal operations carried out day and night. Heavy machinery and plows work without pause, yet progress remains painfully slow due to the sheer volume of snowfall and the relentless nature of the storm. In some areas, roads that have been cleared are buried again within hours, forcing crews to repeat the same work multiple times and stretching resources thin. Education has also been heavily impacted. Schools, colleges, and universities across the region have shifted entirely to remote learning, though even online classes are not always reliable due to power fluctuations and connectivity issues. Air travel has been severely disrupted, with flights into and out of Kamchatka repeatedly delayed or canceled as snow-covered runways and poor visibility make conditions unsafe. Cargo flights carrying essential supplies have also been affected, leading to interruptions in deliveries and growing shortages of basic goods in some local stores. Residents report limited availability of fresh food, fuel, and household essentials, particularly in smaller or more remote settlements. The storm has already claimed lives, underscoring the deadly risks associated with such extreme conditions. At least 2 fatalities have been reported after large masses of snow and ice collapsed from rooftops, striking pedestrians below. Authorities warn that these incidents highlight one of the most dangerous secondary effects of prolonged snowfall. Heavy snow loads continue to accumulate on rooftops, balconies, and overhangs, increasing the likelihood of sudden collapses. Officials are urging property managers, building owners, and residents to clear roofs as quickly as possible, though many lack the equipment or physical ability to do so safely. Emergency services have increased patrols in high-risk areas, cordoning off sidewalks beneath heavily loaded structures and issuing repeated warnings to the public. Despite these efforts, hazardous conditions persist throughout the city. Every trip outdoors carries the risk of falling ice, reduced visibility, or sudden exhaustion caused by deep snow and extreme cold. Ambulance crews and firefighters face significant challenges reaching those in need, as narrow, snow-choked streets slow response times and complicate rescue operations. Authorities warn that the situation remains volatile and that recovery will take considerable time. Across Kamchatka, emergency efforts are focused on maintaining access to food, heating, medical care, and fuel, particularly for remote settlements that remain cut off from main transportation routes. Power infrastructure is under severe strain, from the weight of snow and ice accumulating on lines and equipment, raising serious concerns about outages as temperatures remain well below freezing. Emergency planners are closely monitoring hospitals, heating plants, and water systems, knowing that even brief disruptions could quickly become life-threatening for vulnerable populations, including the elderly, young children, and those requiring ongoing medical care. Despite the scale of the disaster, stories of resilience and solidarity continue to emerge. Neighbors are banding together to dig out entrances, clear vehicles, and check on those who may be isolated or unable to help themselves. Volunteers are working alongside emergency responders, snow removal crews, and military units deployed to assist with clearing roads, delivering supplies, and restoring access to critical infrastructure. These collective efforts offer moments of hope amid the hardship, yet the reality remains stark. Kamchatka is effectively frozen in place, its communities battling both the forces of nature and the passage of time as they struggle to regain mobility, safety, and a sense of normalcy under one of the heaviest and most prolonged snowfalls the region has seen in generations.